Fatima Zafar and I'm a third year medical student at Aga Khan. I live in Sadiqabad and currently I'm baking for the people of my city.
Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Fatima Farrukh and I am a fourth year medical student at the Aga Khan University. I am also a baker. I have a brownie business called Ffudgies and I'm a makeup artist as well.
So 2 years ago I started a blog with my khala and eventually it became a food blog because खाने के अलावा हमें कोई काम नहीं था. That's the story behind Dear Wallet. And I've been baking since I was 10. I usually bake to relieve my stress or if I want to cheer up somebody. But this is the first time that I'm sharing this with anybody outside my family, that I started taking orders for the stuff that I bake this year in Ramzan. And I'm doing that for charity.
So starting orders was more of a gradual process for me. I started taking orders for family, friends, and it kind of spread through word of mouth in the beginning. And a lot of people at AKU would ask me if I'm taking orders, if I could bring them brownies. And I would also bake for a lot of the bake sales at AKU. And eventually, I think a couple of weeks before second year prof, I think this was my way of procrastinating, I just took the plunge and I decided to give it a name called Ffudgies. So yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Basically, third year in AKU is a clinical year. We interact with patients, we take their histories, but right now we don't have any patients obviously, so we do have some online classes, but the workload is very less. It's easily manageable.
So I always ask people to order at least 2 to 3 days in advance, and that helps me plan ahead. And depending on which rotation I'm in, I'm able to take more orders per week or per day compared to other rotations. So in GS and Gynae, I was taking extremely limited orders, and most of the time I was taking it for Mondays. So I would have the weekend to study and bake orders on Sunday night, and I could plan ahead that way. But it is challenging, I'm not gonna lie, especially after you've had a very long day and you've had clinic back to back and you have to come home and make orders. It can be tiring. But also I've realized that having Ffudgies and having orders kind of helps me stay on track and it makes me more productive.
Cadbury और Hershey's का cocoa powder कहीं से नहीं मिल रहा. So that's the biggest problem that I've been facing because of the lockdown. उसके अलावा I get all the stuff delivered at home. So कभी-कभी कुछ और आ जाता है. I once ordered an all-purpose milk का one box and the guy sent me an entire carton of all-purpose.
So the lockdown has affected orders in the sense that I personally am taking limited orders and AKU is closed these days, unfortunately. So I don't get a lot of orders from AKU anymore. I do have some hostelites who order every now and then. But overall, it is decreased, but I love baking for my family. So I still do that whenever I can.
I cannot think of stopping because I'm having so much fun right now. The love and support people are giving, the duas that I get from the families that I'm helping. और सबसे बड़ी बात जब कोई दुआ देते देते रो पड़ता है, that's the best kind of feeling ever.
I actually have not considered stopping. I do think being in the medical profession, there will be times where Ffudgies will get very slow maybe, and I won't be able to dedicate as much time as I could in some rotations or in some parts of my life. But no, I don't think I would ever completely stop. I love giving people brownies and I love the feedback. That's my favorite part, like knowing that my brownies are liked by people and they enjoy them. It's an amazing feeling. It gives me a lot of happiness, so I don't think I would ever want that to stop.
My mom, she's so excited about what I'm doing because अभी तक वो मुझे 2 aprons भेज चुकी हैं, 4 kitchen towels भेज चुकी हैं, 2 baking gloves भेज चुकी हैं और बहुत सारी display platters भेज चुकी हैं. So she's so excited, and obviously Baba, because he's helping out with the deliveries, he's looking after me. he makes me eat because he knows ke kaam karte karte I do skip my meals sometimes. So both of them.
All the time. It happens all the time. I have to make an announcement कि मैं अपने brownies बनाने वाली हूँ, ये घर के लिए नहीं है, please कोई ना खाए, because if I don't, 9 out of 10 times someone is going to eat at least a piece.
No, not really, because there's nobody around when I bake. Yes, I might have eaten something myself, but
So these two individuals in AKU challenged me to a bake-off because they thought I was selling Betty Crocker mix ke brownies instead of homemade fudgy brownies. And they told me that they could make better homemade brownies than me once I actually decide to make homemade brownies instead of a mix. So I was so entertained by the idea that these two idiots will be baking, so I agreed actually, even though I knew that this was probably some sort of a scheme to get free fudgies, but the idea was just so funny. So yeah, I had a bake off with these two people and we Snapchatted each other throughout the process, so we both would know that this is not a Betty Crocker ki mix. And it actually did not turn out that bad. Like they didn't do that bad. I kind of felt bad for them in the process because 20 minutes in I was done with my brownies. They were in the oven. I was still getting snaps of eggs being cracked and the batter being mixed. So I kind of felt bad for them, but it was really fun. It was a good experience.
So I almost put my baking trays in the fridge instead of the oven ones, or I accidentally sat on the cake that I baked. So that wasn't very pleasant. And the people who know me personally, they know that I'm capable of doing such stuff. एक दफ़ा मैंने एक बच्चे को कह दिया था कि please warm your cookies in the microwave for 15 minutes instead of 15 seconds. The sole purpose of doing this was to help families that are not doing financially well in this difficult time. And I send money to 3 families every Friday. I treat the money that comes to me as an amanat that belongs to them. And I hope to help more families in the future as well, inshallah. I haven't calculated the revenue as yet, but I've sold 120 plus boxes of brownies, 150 plus cookies, and 50 plus cakes.
So the first, most obvious advice I can give you is practice. Practice a lot the one thing that you're trying to advertise and like start selling, and only start your business once you feel extremely confident and you feel like you have mastered making that item. So I made brownies for years and years before I decided to start Ffudgies as like a label. And before that I was taking orders casually. So I think starting a business is always going to be intimidating, so don't doubt yourself. Once you have that mastery, just take the plunge and go for it. And fake it till you make it. You might be nervous, but don't show that off. Trust me, there are going to be so many people out there who will love eating your desserts and brownies, because काफी लोग सुस्त होते हैं, so I think people love having homemade goods that they can just purchase,
I would say that especially in our city, we really need people to come up with their talent, or the people here are so supportive, they will appreciate you with every step that you take. I had such an overwhelming response, so if somebody is thinking of doing it, I'm always here to help, but I would advise that you should come up with your own creativity.
So I hope this was helpful for you guys, for anyone who is interested in starting a brownie business. You guys can always contact me, and please follow me on my page on Instagram. It is @Ffudgies and there are 2 F's. So I'll see you guys there. Office.